What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to the DeAndre Way. Make sure you like this video if you like this video. And today, we are finally getting to the finale. I know I'm late. Of Rhythm and Flow Season 2, Episode 10. Yeah, I'm late. I know. I've been busy. Christmas, Squid Game, everything else has been keeping me occupied, and I have not been able to get to this video. But now I am, and I've been sick too. So, y'all, this finale... Let's just say that I think it was rigged. I'm highly disappointed in the outcome. I definitely think the geography of the location shot had an effect on the outcome of this show. I think they had to do that to save face a little bit based on the crowd, based on what happened last season, based on... You know, they don't want to keep the show stagnant. They don't want to keep the show seeming like it's a repeated effect, I guess you could say, or a repeated result. We had a West Coast winner last time in D-Smoke. We had, he dominated the whole competition from head to toe. He was a guy as well. I think they wanted, one of the female rappers to actually take control and win this, but they weren't better than, I say Dre TL and my dog J Taj. They were quality though. I'm serious. I think my girl Jax with an X got the shaft. I'm not a fan of that. I think she definitely deserved to be top 3 at least. And no. It was just honestly, this finale felt really lackluster. It felt rushed. It felt anticlimactic. Last time D-Smoke came out with the eat smoke, take your time, it's a long dinner. It was none of that eat smoke. It wasn't none of that. I think the finale performance, they dumbed them down a little bit. They didn't give them the same aura that the first season had. And that's quite disappointing because the season was quality. It was not as good as the first, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But there was definitely good talent on this season. Definitely, And with this finale, I was just kind of, I think we've seen Dre TL before. No offense to Dre TL. Look, he's an amazing performance. My name's DeAndre, as you know. I'm a root for Dre. I'm always for the Dre's out there. But over J Taj, I just don't see it. J Taj... He had the star quality. He has the seasoning. He had the growth in there already. And he was set to be a star. He is set to be a star. I think he's going to blow up. He just has to, I think one thing on him, the catchiness to all of his things just need to add a little bit. He's showing the vulnerability. He's showing, the maturity. He's showing the star power. Now I think it's just honestly being able, kind of not radio friendly per se, but I'd say appeasing to the masses. He has kind of, he could use a lot of notes from, I guess, DJ Khaled in regards to, DJ Khaled was able to create monikers for himself to cater to all and put his branding with everything when it comes to clothes, music, shoes, endorsements, all that. And I think J Taj, that's the one thing where is he marketable? Guy with a bunch of tats on his neck, and light-skinned brother too, because they're more visible. So that's one thing I could see with that. Dre TL is very marketable. His name is super marketable. He's a young guy, so he has time to really, grow into his own. J Taj is a little older, so he's kind of like what he's going to be to an extent. So I see that aspect of it, but pure talent wise, I was not flying with the results. But we're gonna go through this episode real quick, y'all. So we left off with Sir Ali and Jax with an X, and being, up to them to be eliminated. And Jax with an X leaves over Sir Ali. I think they were catering to Sir Ali. I don't know why. I think Jax with an X was way better. I think Sir Ali was lacking personality. I think she had an attitude, it looked like. No, I'm not here to say she has generally an attitude, but it seemed like she had one throughout these last phases of the competition for whatever reason. I don't know. We don't know what these competitors are going through, but that's just what it looked like through the screen. And I definitely was upset Jax with an X left. She definitely left a big mark on this show and, on my podcast play or my iPhone playlist. So shout out to Jax with an X. Keep doing what you're doing. and I'm gonna be on the lookout. So we got Surah Ali, Dre TL, J Taj, and Detroit Diamond as the final four of the competition. And the next challenge is for them to create their epic single for the $250,000 grand prize. This is it, Michael Jackson settings. And so the stage is set for the finale, and the judges all come back out. And we find out that John Legend is the host of this finale. I don't know why. I mean, John Legend's a legend. You know, he might be on that Diddy list, y'all. But he decided to come out. But this was filmed a year ago, so this is before all that. So yeah, we see him, and J Taj goes first. Now, with these finales, usually they set it up to where the last person that goes, that's typically who's going to be the winner. You know, that's happened last season, I believe. D Smoke went second or last and whatnot, and he shut the house down. But J Taj went first. No, it's either the first person to go or the last person to go. It's never in the middle. So J Taj went first, and he had the song called Make Me, which was produced by 30 Rock, and he put 3 songs into one, and this song was cool. You know, he came out with the quiet vibes in the beginning, real somber and whatnot, but then he turned it up. He turned it all the way up. And I was like, okay, I like this. It was cool. I love the song. Make Me definitely came from the heart. It was an epic performance. He gave that true star power essence to where I could hear that song on the radio, you know, in the clubs. Maybe not in the clubs, but you get my point. You could hear that song out and about. Commercials and whatnot. Definitely a motivating song. So he shut it down. And I was like, wow, like, I don't know who's going to top that. But then we get Detroit Diamond coming through next. And before I get to Detroit Diamond, J Taj, this is why I like J Taj so much, man. J Taj, you know, in today's music game, we don't have many J Tajes out there. And what I mean by that is he enunciates. He's very lyrical. He has the puns. He is original. There's no one that really looks like him. You know, he kind of looks like Suge Knight a little bit, but there ain't no Suge Knight ain't been around for a long time. And Suge Knight was not a rapper. He was bully and bodyguard essentially. And he's very original in that retrospect. You know, no disrespect to the other competitors, but I feel like we've seen those archetypes before. But we have not seen a J Taj, and he's real old school 90s West Coast settings. You know, it's 2024, and I think bringing that around would definitely shaping the music scene up a little bit better. Just like D Smoke, the only person that kind of was like D Smoke is Kendrick Lamar, and that's not the worst, you know, person to be compared to in today's day and age. But D Smoke was original himself. Kendrick Lamar don't speak Spanish, so that kind of, you know, took that all out the window. So I really hope, you know, also D Smoke gets put on more in 2025 as well. But yes, his performance, he shut it down, killed it, and just the originality behind it, man. I don't see how you couldn't give this guy the crown. So Detroit Diamond was next, and oh yeah, and by the way, they're filming this in Atlanta too. By the way, just a little tidbit. And Detroit Diamonds comes out, and her song is called Cheat Code, and is produced by Bangladesh. Now Bangladesh got some of the poppest, hottest, some of my favorite songs out there. You know, if you got a Bangladesh in your track, he produced a milli. I mean, one of the best songs ever. And he produced Ludacris' first 3 albums as well. He was producing certain tracks on there. So Bangladesh is familiar with the game out here. And her song is okay. It was kind of, compared to J Taj, it was a good song. But compared to J Taj, basic and lackluster. It's about her getting luxury items, kind of like a club performance, you know, typical things I've heard. Oh, I got this, I got that, you know, shake that ass, all these things that we've heard a million times before. And there's other things that I've heard very similar before. So I really don't think that was her best performance. I think her best performance was a rap battle. And the music nowadays, I mean, we get that. You know, that's always gonna be popping. That's been popping since women started rapping. So that'll work, but to win this competition, I don't think so. This was not a Grammy performance in my eyes. I mean, she couldn't even get all of her words out. So that was a big issue in itself. So yes, so she goes through, and the judges praised her and said she did well, and she did, but it just was not different in my eyes compared to other performances that I have seen, especially comparison to Jay Taj, who had went before her on this show. Next is Surah Ali, and her song is called True, produced by Derek Milano. And she comes out, and I don't know if she's, leaning on the last performance, which she had to do that song with that artist that I can't remember her name. But the vibes were very mellow. The stage presence was not all the way there for me. She didn't connect with the crowd as much to me. She's kind of just in her own zone, which is a good thing. But at the same time, with this performance, unless you're singing a ballad, you gotta and you're a rapper too. You gotta bring the crowd with you. That's what's gonna make your performance. And it wasn't that good to me, to be honest with you. I mean, she switches things up with the flow, but the flow just isn't that great. It's just a little wonky. It's a little all over the place. And she does do good with the crowd actually at the second half of the performance, because she crowd surfs and they pick her up, and that part was cool, but I just don't think this was a winner's performance. I think the beat was dope. The beat was lit. I get it. The beat was lit, but just the vibes wasn't beating Jay Taj, in my humble opinion. Like I said, she did cool. She did all right, but I just think the stage presence wasn't there. That was her biggest thing. And the crowd gave her Ali, Ali, Ali chants like she's, Muhammad Ali. She had the boxing thing going on. So yeah, they had that. So Dre TL is next. He's last. And his song is called Nobody, produced by Hitmaker. Hitmaker got some hot hits as well, obviously. And so in his studio session, though, it's going kind of rough. He's not really getting along with Hitmaker in regards to the direction of the song is going. He wants it to kind of more be from the heart. Hitmaker seems like he wants it to go in a different direction, and it's really hostile. And, he ends up leaving the studio. And he comes back and he's like, I'll produce this myself if I have to, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, geez, like, this dude gonna have a song to do? But I mean, you're not on the same page with the producer. I mean, what's gonna happen? So he left, but he comes back in there, and then they kind of get it together, and they don't really show them like working together to finish the song. They just kind of, it seems like Dre TL is just kind of going through it on his own and whatnot. But they do finish the song, and it's time for him to perform. And, he's going crazy with the song, I will say. He puts, he shouts, he gives a pun for Netflix, DJ Khaled, a whole bunch of other puns he puts. It's very catchy. He makes the money rain in the club. He did a phone call in the middle of his song to his mom, and that was real touching and whatnot. It gave that human essence to it, original. And he did the whole Dre TL ho, like Atlanta ho, or ATL ho. They're in Atlanta, so he's gonna get the crowd with him on that alone. Like if anybody's gonna get the crowd, it was gonna be him, because Dre TL in ATL. Dre TL in ATL. He should have put that line in there, now that I think about it. But yeah, the crowd was so Atlanta, so it was kind of skewed in that end to me. I wish they would have done this maybe in an LA or New York, but you can't determine where you're going to do it like that. This is already pre-planned, but I think that definitely had an effect on the outcome. But he get a good performance overall. I think it was original, but at the same time, to me, compared to Jay Taj, I've heard of Dre TL before. I have. But he did good in his own right. I think he definitely made a mark on in his own regards, and as a part of the individuality behind the song and the energy he brought. But he's just a little more raw. He needs a little bit more work to beat Jay Taj. Not like I'm comparing him to Jay Taj because that's his competition. Not in general, but he I like the edginess, and I like the originality that he brings. But compared to Jay Taj, I just think he washed him. J. Taj washed them. But we get to the results, and Detroit Diamond ends up getting 4th place. Sarah Ali ends up getting 3rd place. And she said if she don't win, then she swears they're cheaters. And then she walks off the stage and basically dissed them. I'm like, girl, who do you think you are? Who are you? They're cheaters if you don't win. That's what we doing. We supposed to hand out participation trophies because you think you were better than J. Taj and Dre TL? Man, get up out of here, man. That really was just, that was whack. You know, they even said they didn't pick up on her bars too. So, and she was not that entertaining, like I said before. And the fact that you said, if I lose, there's some cheaters, and you really believe that, I don't think you're going to be successful with that kind of attitude. I mean, you're basically saying, if I don't win, then this place is rigged. I'm going to take my ball and go home. Sad. Just sad. And the winner of Rhythm and Flow Season 2 is none other than Dre TL, ho. Now, they ended this very quickly. They gave him the prize, they out. And that's the end of the show. Was this season better than Season 1? No. Was some of the talent just as good as Season 1? I think yes. J. Taj versus D-Smoke would have been epic. Even my boy that J. Taj eliminated, Roan, he could have been top 4 easy if he didn't go against J. Taj. I definitely think Dre TL won because they were in Atlanta and they had the crowd with them, and it would, you wanted a different region winner as well with this show. It's like, okay, the West is winning every single time, but I think talent should win over, popularity. That's just me. Maybe they thought he would be better commercially and whatnot than J. Taj, which I can't agree on that aspect. I think he is more marketable in that retrospect. But J. Taj definitely got robbed. So justice for J. Taj. But I still think he's going to be successful. He's definitely going to be put on with some other West Coast cats because they definitely look out for each other out there. And I'm looking forward to hearing more things from him. Looking forward to hearing things from Dre TL as well. And Jax with an X. Sarah Ali, not so much. Detroit Diamond, we'll see what she comes out with. And then the other competitors as well. So that's the conclusion of this season of Rhythm and Flow. I hope y'all enjoyed my breakdown and analysis of it. We'll see if there's a Season 3. I don't think there will be a Season 3 after this, just based on how this season went. It was they dropped it down a bit from Season 1. Season 1 was pretty epic. I don't know if it's because we were all inside because of COVID. I don't know if just because the talent. I don't know. But I'd be surprised if there's a Season 3. Maybe your boy might have to step into the ring. I can do a little something. I recorded a track over Christmas, with some of my partners. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not doing the Dre TL. I'll probably do, D-Way. That's going to be my rap name, D-Way. And we'll see. Maybe I'll release a couple tracks on here and let me know what y'all think. If I decide to do that, I might do an EP this year. I was supposed to do one last year, the year before that, but I think this year it's time for the EP and put Kansas City a little bit more on the map than it already is. So that's it, y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining me for this series. Sorry it took so long to get this last episode recap out, but we are fully caught up and we are done with the series, y'all. So thank you once again for tuning in, and I'll see y'all on the flip side with the new things that we got popping in 2025. So peace, blessings, and deuces, y'all.